outside of Montana, traveling east, headed to Michigan. I know, I'm a glutton for punishment. And I am here at, I don't know, this is Pilot or Town Pump or something like that, at a truck stop here in Montana. Look at this. Isn't that a great view? Just beautiful. Little birdies, look at the birdies in the tree. They sound like a bunch of sparrows. Just cute as little bugs. Oh, it looks like I've got 3 people who've entered into the chat. Welcome, everybody. Here I am in Montana, just outside of Missoula, headed east towards Michigan, right in the belly of the beast, right in harm's way. I'm ready, though. See that fat little birdie. Oh, these are English sparrows, or at least the one closest to me in the tree there is an English sparrow. Well, hello, little friends. Huh. Only I had some bird seed, then I could see if they'd want to be my friend. How's the connection? Can you guys hear me all right? It looked like it was pretty good. I'm gonna fix myself a hamburger, if you guys don't mind. I'll sit here on this polluted thing. They didn't have any benches for me to eat anything, so here I am. I wanted to get a burger, but their restaurant was closed. How ridiculous is that? So here I am with my, whatever the heck this is. Oops, upside down. My plain hamburger. Oh, there I am. Oh, I guess I'm in Butte, Montana. Huh. Look at that. That's where I'm at right now. Hello, Sir Edmund. How are you? So, you know when you eat and you live stream, I think they call it, what, mukbang or something like that? So let's see what else she's stuck in the bag for me here. Do you like my sexy shoes? See that? Isn't that beautiful? Got my sweats on. Totally dry, looking like a bum. Yeah, why am I in Montana? I'm gonna go visit Matt. No, I'm not gonna visit Matt. That would be creepy. He's not my type. Oops, darn it. See it there. Now I'm headed to Michigan to go and take care of some old people in my family. They got younger people out there that could do it, but you know, when you got, I don't know if you guys have relatives like this, but you know, their limbs will be hanging off their body and they'll go, I'm fine, everything's perfectly fine. I can handle it. Everything's fine. No, I'm 70, but it's all going to fine. The boomer Maynard Crow. I got cute shoes. Thanks. She said mayonnaise when she gave me this thing, and I got no mayonnaise. Darn it. Oh well. See, there's my poor little hamburger. Beer. No beer for me right now. I'm working on energy drinks. Gosh, I haven't had any fake stuff in a while, and this morning I go out and I get myself now I have to only turn this over. Go in and get myself a little bit of McDonald's breakfast. That was a big mistake. I mean, the biscuits, I thought the biscuits were pretty good. Oh no, I guess I don't get any get to take the top off there. Let's see how this goes. Well, it looks like the top is permanently adhered to the hamburger. Well, it's not really what I was thinking. I know. I'm dying on the inside. No mayonnaise. Mayonnaise is the elixir of life. A few weeks ago, I got a bee in my bonnet to buy one of those hand blenders. It's called an immersion blender, so that I can make my own mayonnaise. And I thought, I'll do like a half a recipe or something like that. Well, I couldn't whip up the eggs right, because you're supposed to whip up the egg first and then slowly add the oil. And anyway, it just turned into yellow oil, so I dumped that out. I tried it again. I used more egg yolks. Eggs are expensive. And I used olive oil. If you make mayonnaise, don't use olive oil. It's really disgusting. Somebody told me to use avocado oil. Avocado oil tastes disgusting to me. I'm not on a bench. I'm sitting on one of those. It's like a log, so that you don't run over the grass. I'm just sitting on a piece of wood. No benches for me. That's funny. People at Montana are pretty nice. I go to use the restroom. Some little girl, she holds the door open for me. And then when I go to leave, a couple of guys taking turns opening the doors. I had to open my big mouth and I said, well, Montana is the most polite place in America. Yeah, I have tiny legs. And my legs are starting to swell because I'm sitting so much. That sucks. Nothing makes cheap food taste better than ketchup. Looks like I only have 2 people watching. Oh, down to 1. That's okay. So I went into this place here. I only talked to one person. And then just driving through Montana. Some people are a little bit paranoid about this whole 6-foot distancing thing. And most people aren't. Most people here don't care, but it's not. I don't know if you've ever been to truck stops. Truck stops are usually packed all day, all night. And there's not really that many people. It's still busy, but not nearly as busy as it usually is. And I went when I went to go check out, there was a piece of plexiglass hanging in front of the cashier gal. And I said, well, what do you think, this thing coming down when all this BS is over? And she's like, gosh, I hope so. I have problems and I get dizzy because of the way that the light reflects. And I tapped it and I was like, this thing's made out of, this is like super lightweight, not made out of tissue paper, but you know what I mean. Oh, this is a private stream for the boomer Maynard Crow. Are you really a boomer? Sure. You know, when I was driving out here, I forgot to go to, forgot to look for Five Guys. I think in Missoula there's a Five Guys or a Killer Burger or something like that. That would have been definitely much better than this. Maynard Crow, what are you? Are you a millennial? Or are you the greatest generation? Or are you like me, a Gen Xer? I miss being a boomer by about 6 years. Or five and a half, 6 years, something like that. Anyway. Oh, so the girl that at the cash register when I was talking to her. She says, yeah, everybody's going to take everything down and go back to normal, and then the virus is going to come back. And I just laughed her. I said, it's just a cold. It's just to see how far the government can push us. She wasn't real happy with the answer. I think she wanted to be scared. So you're a millennial? Anyway, so one of the things I'm figuring out is that it's young single females and foreigners that are the most scared of this virus. You know, humanity has gone thousands of years without getting killed off, and people are acting like some virus is going to kill us off. It's like, yeah, well, good luck with that. You know, we're not stepping over bodies. If we get to the point where people are dying so fast they can't be buried, then we got a problem there. Why? Just lie and say you're Gen X. It'll get you a senior discount faster. I got 5 more years until I get a senior discount. I just shoved that hamburger in my face. I hope I don't smack my lips. That'd be pretty disgusting. Anyway, gosh, I have had the most wonderful drive. There's hardly anybody on the road. It's just a few. There's actually more cars out here in Montana than there was in Washington or Idaho. Well, I am a Kekistani refugee too. I don't understand why I don't get reparations for being a Kekistani refugee. I'm going to start demanding them. My people demand reparations. I'm a loser. I don't even have a Kekistani flag. Anyway, so there's a lot of traffic out here in Montana. But Montana is pretty much the middle of nowhere. I'm right in the center of the middle of nowhere. I don't know. Haven't made it to North Dakota yet. That's probably going to be a lot worse. I can't even imagine what I'm going to come up against. Kekistan. The Kekistanis have invaded Kekistan. The Kekistanis are our oppressors. Down with Kekistan. I got 5 people on here. Hi everyone. I'm in Butte, Montana. I thought I was in just outside Missoula, but I guess the next town over is Butte. Well, I mean, I don't know if it's towns out here, town cities. I'm sitting outside a truck stop. I don't know, Town Pump or Pilot or something like that. It's got both signs there. The restaurant was closed, so I had to settle for a deli hamburger, which was all right. The bun was a little on the soggy side. The girl didn't give me any mayonnaise. That was pretty sad. I'm gonna have to play some violin music for the rest of the day to express my sadness for not getting any mayonnaise. But I got ketchup, and so that was okay. Enough ketchup on something and you can choke it down. Anyway, so I wanted to give everybody a little bit of a consensus of what's going on in America outside of the libshit cities, or at least the libshit city that I live in. And it's just really weird coming out here in the middle of nowhere in God's country and God's people, and to see all of this bullshit going on, this fear, and the signs, and everybody complying. What really bothers me is that people are complying. I don't understand it. You know, the federal government's supposed to give guidelines. They're not supposed to demand everything gets shut down. And then governors have absolutely no right to determine who and who isn't an essential business. And for all those Pakistanis out there who care about women, you know, these businesses getting shut down are mostly women-run businesses. I'm driving through these small towns, and places that I would go to when I go to small towns are thrift stores. I love junk stores. I am a total junk collector. Well, you guys see how I keep my backyard? It's just a total wreck. I love junk. I love things being a wreck. That's just kind of the way I roll. And so that was really depressing to see, because I can see that, you know, a lot of businesses, smaller businesses, you know, they have a skinny bottom line, and thrift stores and some of these things, they're run by older women who are retired, and so some of this stuff is a hobby business, and they probably use their savings to get it started, but were able to keep it at least somewhat profitable. Maybe they're not, I don't think they're probably taking in huge profits, but it's just, I don't know, it's just an absolute travesty. And you know, if this goes on any longer, well, I'm sure people have already lost. I don't know how many people, though. I don't really know how to gauge that. You know, the people who aren't dependent on the government to survive are pretty much going to lose everything unless they had a huge buffer. Oh my God. The boomer mated crow. I come from a long line of pack rats. As soon as you throw something away, you find a use for it. Yeah. I just, I don't know. Like, when I go through my papers to throw my papers away, and then I put them in the recycle box, and I ask myself, well, what could I do with those papers? I could probably shred them up and stick them in my garden, you know, use them for compost or something like that. And then I think, nah, into the recycle bin you go. Not even gonna do that. And then I got, my neighbor stopped getting the newspaper, and so I was thinking, gosh, you know, since I don't get the newspaper anymore, I may as well start saving the ads that come in the mail, and then put it aside in case I have to live on, you know, use my fireplace to keep my house warm if they cut the electricity off. Because you know that's coming. First, they're going to cut off the food supply, so by next winter, it's going to be impossible to get food, and there's going to be a civil unrest, and it's going to be a big mess. And then, I know, isn't that quite dramatic? By next winter, we will be out of food. You're all going to starve. And, yeah, and then they're going to cut off the electricity. Remember, was it not this winter, but the previous winter in the Midwest? Didn't it get to negative 40 degrees out there? And they were talking, at the time, I had heard that they were talking about cutting off the electricity. So, boy, I didn't get a really good turnout. Either the notification is pretty bad, or I'm just really boring. I'm probably extremely boring. You know, some people say that I'm paranoid, but it's good to be a little bit paranoid and over-prepared than to be caught with your pants down. Yeah, food production is ramping down because we have a surplus. But how much of a surplus do we have? You know, gas is cheap, and there's surplus oil. But there's questions. There's always, you know, whenever there's a surplus or of something, it's like, well, who is the customer? Who is this customer that stopped purchasing that created this surplus? Well, Americans aren't driving as much, but, oh, wow, you get my notifications 2 days after I stream. But I don't think it was, I don't think this oil that's floating around on barges or whatever, the surplus oil is from, we weren't the customer. I don't know who the customer was. You know, you can't really have a complete picture unless you ask a lot of questions, you know. Well, yeah, we have a surplus, but why? Who was the customer? Nobody's asking that one. Restaurants are still producing. Restaurants are, their trucks are still rolling. People are getting food, either getting carry out rather than sit down. And we have 3 generations of Americans that don't even know how to cook anything. They know how to warm up a frozen dinner, and that's about it. But they don't know how to cook anything from scratch. I think it was Jamie Oliver. You guys familiar with Jamie Oliver? He's on the Food Network. Weird guy, but he helps people learn how to cook, or he teaches people how to cook healthy meals. And what did he do? I think he started a nonprofit or something like that, and helping kids in schools, at least in the UK, get healthier meals. Got to make sure that the Muds get their healthy meals when they take over the country, so they can have a lot of kids. Yeah, no, it's a travesty that people can't cook. All of the conveniences that we have nowadays haven't been to the benefit of a lot of people. It's really just caused them to be lazy. I used to remember everybody's phone number and address before cell phones came out. But I used to be a lot brighter when I was younger, I could hear something once, or somebody shows me how to do something one time, just one time, and I knew how to do it one time. And now I have to look up video after video after video, and then I have to go find somebody who knows how to do something and have them show me, and then I have to try it a few times, and I gotta go back and ask questions. Nah, it's not. This old age thing is not working well for me. All right, I gotta hit the road. I'm gonna try to be in North Dakota before I decide to close my eyes for the night. All right, white people, thank you so much for watching, and I will live stream again when I make my next stop.